Hey guys, Jake here, and today I'm here with CPC playoffs round number 1. This week we're going up against Joost, coach of the Angels of Beheeyeim. As a lot of you guys know, last season we actually got eliminated round 1 of playoffs after going undefeated season 1, or after going undefeated in the regular season. So we're definitely going to try and break past that this season and definitely try and get to at least semifinals. Hopefully finals, and then hopefully win it all. But first, we gotta get past Joost. Joost is a coach of the Angels of Beheeyeim. He's a very, very good player and a good friend of mine. So be sure to check him out. We actually did play week 1, and we did come up with, I think, a 2-0 victory. So yeah, that was a good game. I advise checking that out because a lot of my sets are influenced on our week 1 game, and yeah. So as I'm sure a lot of you guys know, building for a rematch when you won the first game is extremely threatening because you know your opponent is really gonna try and spice it up. So you really have to try and come prepared for a combination of everything, and I really tried to do that this week. So yeah, Yo's team is incredibly threatening. His team is Kommo-o, Arcanine, Beheeyeim, Donphan, Umbreon, Archeops, Bronson, Guys, Porygon Z, Clawitzer, and Kommo-o. He can use Z, Kommo-o, and Z Archeops, which are 2 of the biggest Z threats to my team. He's also got the yeah. So that's his team. He can use Z, Kommo-o, and Z Archeops. My team, of course, consists of Mega Gardevoir, Manaphy, Infernape, Metagross, Haxorus, Amoonguss, Golbat, Sneasel, Kangaskhan, and Rhyperior, and I can use Z Manaphy and Z Sneasel. So, yeah, his team is pretty threatening, but with all of the threat I have to his team, I would still say I have a good matchup. So, but this is still a very difficult build because I have to prep for a lot of stuff because I know Joost is a very creative builder as well as a very solid player, so I definitely had to really take everything into consideration here. So yeah, he's got the Tapu Koko outspeeds my entire team, which is not unusual for Tapu Koko, but it's still extremely threatening for my team because I don't have anything to outspeed it, and my checks to it don't have the exactly best reliable recovery. So if my team is whittled, my team could very well just fold to the Tapu Koko. So I really have to be careful when playing around the Tapu Koko. It also has potential Z moves, so it can potentially win Z coverage, such as Z Bloom Doom for my Rhyperior, or Supersonic Sky Strike for my Amoonguss. So I really have to be on the watch for both of those. And last time, I believe you just brought a 4 attacks Electrium Z variant. The difference is now I have a Rhyperior over Seismitoad. Both get bought by Grass Knot, but Rhyperior can actually take one better. So I'm curious to see what set he can bring. But I'm pretty much expecting just Wild Charge, U-Turn, Grass Knot, and Brave Bird. Pretty much mixed. U-Turn does decent damage to a lot of my team. Wild Charge, Oko stuff like Gardevoir, which is really good, and Grass Knot hits Rhyperior, and Brave Bird can do a KO and Amoonguss. So that's really what I think his spread will be, or his set will be. He's also got the Arcanine. Arcanine is kind of annoying to my team to break because it can kind of deal with a lot of stuff on my team. It is pressured by a lot of stuff, and I do kind of have ways of dealing with it, but it can kind of be a nuisance if I let some of my ways pressuring it go down. So I definitely got to be on watch for his Arcanine, and he's also got the Mega Beedrill. He did actually not bring the Mega Beedrill week 1, and I think that was probably due to me having a Golbat, which kind of hard counters it. But I definitely don't think that means he won't bring it this time, because first of all, our teams have changed a lot. Or his team hasn't really changed that much. I think the only difference of his team is that he has a Gourgeist over some grass type. I want to say it was Virizion. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Virizion. So yeah, he has Gourgeist over Verzion, which I actually prefer. I feel like Verzion was more threatening to my team than Gourgeist, so yeah, that's pretty nice. But yeah, he's got the Arcanine, and oh, I was talking about Mega Beedrill, but yeah, Beedrill. If my Golbat falls, I really don't have much for it because a lot of my stuff just takes so much damage from a Mega Beedrill, which makes it really threatening. So I really need to play carefully with my Golbat, which, as you can see, I did decide to bring, and yeah, I really need to play carefully with it, preserve the health on it, and just not let my ways of taking it go down, because despite how bulky some of my mons are, it still does a lot of damage because Mega Beedrill is insanely strong. And he's also got the Donphan. Donphan is one of the biggest nuisances to my team because a lot of my team's just kind of walled by it, and Donphan can hit it pretty well. So that made it really annoying to prep for. It also kind of can threaten me offensively because my ground resist really aren't the best on my draft, and he can also pack a knockoff to knock off a Golbat's Eviolite, which means that its defenses are significantly weaker, and it also means that it can like Earthquake on my Golbat's Roosts, which is super annoying. So yeah, Donphan's a pretty big threat to my team. Both offensive and defensive are quite annoying. Defensive Donphan for him really does a good job of keeping rocks off the field because two out of my 3 rockers on my draft really are pressured by Donphan pretty well, and it can take hits from them, those being Metagross and Rhyperior, and the other one is Infernape, which dies to Earthquake, as well as isn't really that common of a Rocks user, and as you can see, I'm not even bringing Rocks, so yeah, Donphan's quite annoying. Umbreon, he brought it last time, but I really didn't expect it. I don't expect him to bring it this time either. I think Umbreon is just a liability for him. It gives a lot of my Pokemon free setup and just free reign to threaten his team offensively, and it doesn't even wall that much on his team, so I really don't expect it. He's also got the Archeops, and I am extremely terrified of Archeops, but when building this team, I took a huge risk. I decided to not prep for Archeops that much. And you might think I'm crazy, but basically, my only thing to deal with to switch into a Rock attack from an Archeops is a defensive Metagross, and I was trying Metagross out in a lot of different mocks, and it really just wasn't doing this good. It was just losing a lot of momentum. It just let Donphan spin. I toyed around with a lot of different sets. I toyed around with running Grass Knot to a KO Donphan on the switch. I toyed around with dual screens to weaken the damage from his team. I even toyed around with an AV fully special Metagross with like Shadow Ball to hit Bronson, Grass Knot, Psychic for general stab, and then I think it was just Bullet Punch as the last move for priority. Bronzong, something like a Shuka Bronzong could have helped me with, or Shuka Metagross could have helped me deal with Archeops. It would at least give me a switch in, but other than that, I really just did not have much for Archeops, so I decided to take a huge risk and not prep for it that much. I still do have some things for it, but it's extremely threatening. So yeah, he's also got the Bronzong. Bronzong is a huge nuisance to my team because a lot of my stuff on my team is walled by it. For example, my Mega Gardevoir, Bronzong can actually take 2 Shadow Balls from a Mega Gardevoir. Manaphy is it's a kind of setup fodder for Manaphy. Infernape can actually lose to Bronzong with a potential heat-proof set, and some like strong Psychic attack. Metagross, just completely walled. Axorus can hit it kind of hard with Mold Breaker, Earthquake. Amoonguss is walled by Bronzong. Golbat, all it can do is Super Fang. Sneasel kind of hits, but like even then Sneasel is pretty weak and gets OHKO'd by Gyrobon. It doesn't OHKO it. Kangaskhan, kind of walled. It does have Crunch, but Kangaskhan's kind of weak, so it's not doing much. And Rhyperior, my best way of hitting is Crunch. So Bronzong walls a lot of my team, and it's really hard for me to pressure as well as switch into, so I'm pretty scared of Bronzong. I also got the Gourgeist. I said earlier that I'm not really worried about Gourgeist at all, and that is because a lot of my team pressures Gourgeist really well. It just gives free opportunity for a lot of my Pokemon. I'm really not scared of Gourgeist. It really doesn't have the best matchup. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about Gourgeist. And it's also got the Porygon Z. Porygon Z, I think is kind of a tie with Archeops, and what the biggest threat to my team is. Porygon Z is an absolute menace to my team because, it can set up on some stuff and really hit a lot of stuff hard. I don't have good switch-ins to Porygon Z at all. Gardevoir can kind of switch in, but, just, adaptability boosted tri-attacks are still doing a very decent amount, and it can also set up with agility or nasty plot, whichever it chooses. Could even beat both. I did like a lot of times where I fought a dual dance Porygon Z and Mox. I kind of just swept my team because I didn't play around it, but yeah, Porygon Z is a huge threat to my team. And he's also got the Clawitzer. He actually brought Clawitzer in our first game when I really wasn't expecting it. It was actually an AV Clawitzer. Basically what it did was, I set up Z-Rain Dance with Manaphy. I 2-KO Clawitzer with Surf, and then it got one hit off me. And yeah, basically it failed at checking Z-Rain Dance Manaphy. So I really don't think Clawitzer is coming this game. I don't think it has a good matchup. I have pretty good ways of checking it defensively, so I'm not too scared of it. And it's also got the Kommo-o. Now Kommo-o, kind of a mixed bag in my opinion. I do have kind of stuff that can wall it, but if I let my stuff get whittled, I don't have too much for it because a +1 Kommo-o is really scary for my team. So yeah, I really need to keep my stuff healthy for Kommo-o. So yeah. So without further ado, let's get into my team. And as you can see, first line point on my team was Scarf and Fernape. Scarf and Fernape is a very solid mon in this game. I need to go special because of how many special walls he has, or physical walls rather. He has stuff like Donphan, Arcanine, even Kommo-o to an extent that can just kind of switch into something like a close combat or a Flare Blitz very, very well. So physical was definitely not set this time. I knew I needed Scarf because he's got the Tapu Koko Beedrill offensive core, which can just run through me if my team's weakened. So I decided to go with Scarf because I can outspeed those and do a ton with Fire Blast. Dual stabs hit his team pretty hard. I've got U-turn for momentum, and Vacuum Wave is nice if I need to pick off something that I can outspeed, or something like a +2 speed Porygon Z, which is pretty nice. I actually did at one point have a pretty awesome Infernape that was a nasty plot, Endure Salakberry, but I decided to take that off because I need a more reliable way of immediately revenge killing Koko and Beedrill. So even though that thing could have swept his team, he did have potential priority in Arcanine, so I decided to take it off. So and this Scarf and Fernape set is still very reliable this game. It'll definitely do some work. So yeah. Now next up, I've got my Mega Gardevoir. My Mega Gardevoir is a specially defensive set this week, rocking Hyper Voice, Wish, Protect, and Healing Wish. Max HP, 140 special defense, 116 speed. This speed is basically creeping Metagross by a few points in case he wants to try and speed creep Metagross with something like Kommo-o, Porygon Z, yeah, that's pretty, I guess Arcanine, but I'm really honestly probably not going to be staying in on that. But yeah, basically this was the last mon I put in the team. I was really torn on what I wanted for my last slot. It was between Metagross, Haxorus, and Gardevoir, but I figured this Gardevoir could help a lot because I was really having trouble dealing with Porygon Z, and I feel like this Gardevoir set is pretty nice. Hyper Voice, Wish, Protect, Healing Wish. This set is kind of walled by Arcanine as well as Bronson, but this Ron can keep the other mons in my team healthy, which is really nice because once my team got worn down, I was really vulnerable to a lot of his threats, and some of my mons don't have reliable recovery. So having the Wish, Protect, and Healing Wish potential was really nice. So yeah, one thing I gotta mention about Kommo real quickly is that basically Kommo is very threatening because if you don't know, Kommo has three very viable abilities, and those are Bulletproof, Soundproof, and Overcoat, all of which can come into play versus me. soundproof because I do have a Mega Guard, which does use Hyper Voice often, him having soundproof for a potential potential Hyper Voice is great for him because it means he can just pretty much wall my Gardevoir unless I'm running Psychic, and I actually did run Psychic in my week 1 match versus him, and he probably knows that because he probably saw my team builder, but still, so that's why I'm thinking soundproof is the least likely, because the other two sets are also very viable, because Overcoat is very good because it can absorb stuff like Stun Spores and Spores from my Mungus. Spore overall in my Mungus is really not that good this game because he has Electric Terrain, plus potential Overcoat user in Kommo-o. And so yeah, that's pretty annoying in that regard. And he's also Bulletproof is pretty nice in case he wants to take stuff like Focus Blast from my Mungus, or Focus Blast from my Infernape and Sledge Bombs from my Mungus. So yeah, all 3 abilities are very viable this game, which makes it really tricky dealing with Kommo-o. That's why I do have Trace on this Gardevoir as my pre-Mega ability, because if I can go hard Gardevoir on this Kommo-o at one point in the game and get that information, that could be really clutch. So yeah, but yeah, this Gardevoir is really nice. Special defense pretty much can help me deal with Porygon Z a lot. I do 2k with a Hyper Voice, and yeah, I can take hits from it pretty well. Also gives me something to deal with special Kommo-o better, and also deals with Call-Esser pretty well. The max HP actually allows me to take a +1 Jolly Poison Jab from Kommo-o, which is very nice. And yeah, overall this mon kind of does fall to his physical wall breakers, but I feel like this mon can do a pretty good job at dealing with a Porygon Z if necessary, as well as keeping my team healthy, which is what I really needed in this game. So next up, I've got a Kobe-Berry Mungus running Toxic, Foul Play, Clear Smog, and Sledge Bomb. So this Mungus was obligatory this game because Tapu Koko is very threatening to my team. The Kobe-Berry helps me take a Brave Bird or a Z Brave Bird if need be. The one thing I can't, if I'm a full health Mungus, the one thing I can't switch into is a Z Brave Bird plus Brave Bird. That will kill me, but I can take two Adamant Brave Birds from a Tapu Koko if I'm at full. And even if I do have to pivot out because I've taken rocks or something, I do have a blank check that you will see here in the back, so it's not the end of the world if he does predict me 2 times. But yeah, basically this Amoonguss is physically defensive to help me deal with Koko better, as well as I've got this bit of special defense investment because it allows me to take a +2 try attack from a non-boosting item, Porygon Z, if need be, and I can clear Smog it, as well as if you wanted to go with like 2 specs hidden power rises with Tapu Koko, I can live those. So yeah, I've got Toxic because Toxic is really good for a lot of his walls. Well, by a lot, I pretty much mean Arcanine, I'm not gonna lie. But Toxic and a lot of his team is nice. Toxic and Donphan is pretty nice because I can see I don't have Giga Drain, so I'm actually gonna wall by it. But Toxic and Donphan is great because weakening Donphan is pretty annoying for my team to do, and if I can put that thing on the timer, that's great. Toxicking Arcanine on the Switch is really nice as well. I can also Toxic a potential Kommo-o if I'm confident it won't be substitute, which is a possibility this game. I've got Foul Play because I can actually Oko's a Mega Beedrill, as well as it gives me a way of doing Bronson, just a solid 30%, so very good chance for me to 3KO him if he is shipped a bit. Also does a very good amount of stuff like Archeops, and kind of does a decent amount of stuff like Donphan. So yeah, Clear Smog is so I can stop setup from stuff like Porygon Z, Kommo-o, Calm Mind, Tapu Koko, because I did actually have Giga Drain until last minute. I realized if he's like very bulky Calm Mind Koko, I really could have a lot of trouble with that because if I didn't run Clear Smog, Sludge Bombs actually is not doing that much to Koko, and yeah, would have been annoying because my way of revenging Tapu Koko is indeed special, so him having Calm Minds up would make that a lot trickier to do, so I decided to put Clear Smog on there. It's also really nice for stuff like Kommo-o, which makes it harder to set up stuff like Dragon Dances on me. So, yeah. Sludge Bomb just for general stab. Does a lot to Coco. I think it OHKOs Coco after rocks, which is very, very nice. So, yeah, next up I've got my Rhyperior. This is a pretty nice Rhyperior set. I'm running a special defensive Rhyperior with Stealth Rock, Superpower, Earthquake, and Crunch, loading the Figgy Berry, Solid Rock, of course. Basically, this monster here is going to kind of check Porygon Z as well. I'm not too killed by Max Special Attack, Modest, non-boosting item, Ice Beams. And I can actually OHKO with Superpower. That's what the 16 attack ensures, that I can OHKO Porygon Z with Superpower. Even though Earthquake does a very solid chunk, considering how big of a threat Porygon Z is to my team, I decided to go with it. Superpower also puts Archeops in Defeatist, despite not being stabbed. So, yeah, that's pretty nice if I need to take an Aqua Tail or something. Rocks are very good this game, especially for weakening the Beedrill and the Arcanine. Crunch gives me a way of doing Bronson. Hitting Bronson only does like 40%, but that's pretty nice because I can weaken that stuff for my Gardevoir and for my Infernape. So yeah, that's really solid. Doesn't really have a great way of threatening Donphan, which is quite annoying, but I figured it was the price I had to pay. Honestly, if Rhyperior had like a 90 special attack, I probably would have ran Blizzard or something in this game just because it would have done a lot to Donphan. But I did just settle with this set, which it does the job well. I can also take hits from Beedrill pretty well. Although I do get warned quickly, I can do it if need be. OHKO with Earthquake. Superpower does a pretty decent amount to Spidef Umbreon. Earthquake does a decent amount to Kommo-o. This mon hits his team pretty hard, even uninvested, which I like. So yeah, I can take hits from Porygon Z if need be. And yeah, very solid mon this game. So next up, I've got a very, very good mon for this team. C Rain Dance Manaphy, Rocking Surf, Dazzling Gleam, Rain Dance, and Tailgo, Water EMC, Z Rain Dance Manaphy, fantastic versus team. I did bring this week 1, and it almost swept him, but basically he had to sack off his Callwitzer to get damage on me, sack off his Umbreon so the rain died, and then go into his Assault Vest Bronzong to live a hit and kill me off. So this one is very good versus team because he really does not have much responses. I did consider actually a Specs Manaphy because it punishes him going hard Tapu Koko, which is a potential play because he can go Koko on the Z Rain Dance, so he can live a Surf on the next turn and kill me with an electric attack. But I decided to just see Rain Dance, same set as last time, except this time I have Dazzling Gleam because Kommo-o is really annoying, and having that way to just OHKO immediately on my team with a very bulky mon I thought was very useful because I can take something like +1 Outrage from full if I need to, OHKO with Dazzling Gleam. So yeah, that's really nice. I did have to forego coverage for something like Callwitzer or Gorgeist, but I thought it was definitely worth it because I didn't feel either of those mons were coming this game. So yeah, very good mon versus my team. Another win condition I have. So yeah. And last up, I've got my Golbat, rocking Roost, Brave Bird, Defog, and Super Fang. Physically defensive. Got a bit of special defense investment, and a bit of speed. Speed is just so we don't get speed crept by other stuff. But yeah, this thing's job is to take on Beedrill and keep rocks off the field because rocks on my side of the field are pretty annoying. And yeah, so I've got Brave Bird just so I can OHKO Koko, which is very solid. Super Fang does a great job of really weakening his walls, which is something I need to do this game. Specifically the Donphan and the Bronson. Defog keeps basically keeps rocks off my field, which are pretty annoying. I feel like rocks on my side this game are worse than rocks on his side. And yeah, Roost is for recovery. Basically this thing is mostly physically defensive to help me deal with Beedrill as good as possible. But I'm also Spidef, so I don't get too killed by timid life orb clanging scales from Kommo-o. So yeah, very solid mon this game. I really had difficulty deciding what moves I wanted on this because I also wanted U-turn, taunt, whirlwind, very difficult. But I feel like this is the best set because Roost I need, Brave Bird I need. Defog was good because the rocks were really annoying with wheeling my team down, and they actually ensure a lot of certain OHKOs and 2-KOs for him. So I did decide to go with Defog, and Super Fang was very nice for wheeling his team down. So yeah, so that's my team. Without further ado, I will be with the match soon. Alright, here we are at the match versus Joost, and as you can see, he decided to bring a squad of Tapu Koko, Donphan, Mega Beedrill, Kommo-o, Porygon-C, and Bronson. So this is pretty similar to what I expected. He did not bring the Arcanine, which was kind of relieving, because that thing could have been annoying, but basically he brought all the other threats. Oh, he didn't bring the Archeops, which made me extremely happy. I was so happy to not see that thing, because it would have been a huge threat to my team offensively, because my best way of dealing with that was like Scarf and Fernie, Focus Blast, and tanking a huge hit with Manaphy. So yeah, he didn't bring that, so the fact that me risking for not prepping for it as much paid off was really relieving for me. He didn't bring it in our first game as well, so yeah. Yeah, so this is about what I expected though. I decided to lead off with my Infernape because I can U-turn on anything I need to, and I can also threaten stuff out, hopefully get some information too. So I do decide to lead off with my Infernape as he leads off with his Bronson. So there's many possibilities turn one in this Bronson can have. First of all, it could just be flat up Spadef and live a Fire Blast from my Infernape. He also could be Heat Proof, in which case, which is kind of possible versus my team because it can take a fire move from Infernape pretty well and fire back with a strong Psychic attack. And Levitate isn't that good versus my team because my ground type is Rhyperior, and I'm sure he knows it gets Crunch, so it's not like Levitate helps it wall it. And as well as my Dragon type Haxorus doesn't care about Levitate because of Mold Breaker Earthquake, so yeah, deciding to not risk my Scarf and Fernie this turn, I'm just going to go for the U-turn, scout the damage, and see what he wants to do. So, after thinking about it a long time, I decide to go out into my Golbat because, while there's a good chance a Psychic attack could be coming in here, especially because he stayed in with his Bronze on turn 1, I can probably take 2 strong Psychic attacks if need be, and if he just wants to go for his rocks, I can defog those away too, prep with Super Fang, get this thing weakened. But as you can see, Joost is going to pull out the amazing prep and actually pull out the Life Orb Zen Headbutt, which is fantastic prep. And here's where I'm realized this thing is so good versus my team. Holy crap. I have to sack him onto this. And basically that damage does reveal he is very offensive, probably Adamant. Adamant Bronson doesn't mean he's fully physical though, because Bronson does have a usable special attack, and it could have something like Grass Knot from my Rhyperior, which I actually saw in a mock, and I was also kind of fearing here. But so I'm thinking this could be a mixed Bronson, but even then, looking at team preview, he didn't bring the Archeops, and basically based on team composition, his team composition, I'm thinking I want to keep Golbat around because, as I said, without it, Beedrill is just extremely threatening. So yeah, Beedrill is extremely threatening to my team without Golbat, so I can still keep Golbat around and roost up. I can roost up on a couple of his mons. So I'm gonna pull a hard switch into my Rhyperior on this turn actually, because I'm thinking he's probably gonna go for Life Orbs and Headbutt on this turn because he doesn't want me like roosting up or something. So and yeah, so I'm thinking he's probably gonna go for Life Orbs and Headbutt, do it for Rhyperior, which can take that. And if I get good enough rolls, Life Orbs and Headbutt into Iron Head or Life Orb and Headbutt into Grass Knot can actually activate my Figgy Berry. I can 2-KO him with Crunch, and I won't get 2-KO'd and I'll still have a Rhyperior alive. So I go into my Rhyperior as he goes for the Zen Headbutt. That does a decent amount. I'm pretty sure he's definitely max attack off of that damage, which means if he goes for Life Orb Iron Head and he gets a high enough roll, I can get my Figgy Berry activated, I can live the hit on the following turn, and I can be in a great position because I can 2-KO him with Crunch. So I'm just going to go straight for the Crunch because I need this thing weakened. Because actually, I did consider going for Rocks, but if this thing is heat proof, it can definitely live a Scarf and Fernie Flare Blitz, or Fire Blast. So which means if I don't get damage on this thing, it can even possibly get another kill because I don't have something like Shadow Ball in my Gardevoir. Yeah, this Bronson really took me off guard because I thought he would be especially defensive Bronson to deal with my Gardevoir, as this was really his only switch in. So yeah, he goes for the Iron Head, and he actually gets a pretty low roll, and meaning I don't get my Figgy Berry activated, and I'm just gonna sack on my Rhyperior as he actually pulls out the Explosion. and that actually kills, which is quite crazy. Offensive Bronson is a menace, but yeah, I did manage to knock out the Bronson, which is very nice for my Gardevoir. But it also means my responses to Porygon-Z and Tapu Koko are now limited because I did lose my Rhyperior. I also won't have rocks up for the entirety of the game, which is really scary. But knowing how big of a threat Beedrill is to my team, after Golbat is weakened, I really think he shouldn't let me roost with Golbat. So considering this, I'm gonna go into my Amoonguss on this double down here because I can fire off the status and get information. So as he does indeed go into Tapu Koko, so I make that play correctly, and so yeah, he's in here, and the only way he thinks he can kill me is a Z-Brave Bird, and that won't kill me if I'm Cove Berry, and I can do a ton with the Sludge Bomb, and if I get the poison, I actually knock him out. So the thing is, I actually talked about potential Sludge Bomb or potential Cove Berry Amoonguss in my team builder week 1, and I was wondering if he watched that all, and I'm thinking he probably did because I know Joost likes to prep hard. He would probably do his scouting, probably did his homework, so I'm thinking he still probably doesn't want to risk this too early. Koko was great versus my team once he manages to weaken the Amoonguss. So, even if he does go for the Z-Brave Bird, I can live it and pivot out if need be. It will suck. But I'm going to make a pretty bold play here and go for the Toxic, because I'm thinking it works if he wants to switch, make an odd switch into something like Kommo-o, because if I can get Kommo-o Toxic this turn, as it goes for selling my U-turn, that would be fantastic. I can worry about that thing a lot less. So I'm going to go for the Toxic, as he actually pulls out the Light Screen, which is very interesting prep on his part. I definitely see how where it's coming from, because he knows Amoonguss is very likely to switch into Tapu Koko, and he wanted to capitalize on that. So yeah, that's very smart building by him. And now just gears start to turn in my head. I don't even know if that's the right saying, but whatever. He's probably set up on a lot of other mons. I'm thinking good chance he's Rock Polished Donphan because it has a pretty good matchup versus my team, and I know Joost likes Rock Polished Donphans. Shoutouts to Mio. And Beedrill could also probably be SD, and my Golbat dies to +2 knockoff. Kommo-o probably has to be set up, probably Dragon Dance, and Porygon-Z is almost definitely set up now that he has Light Screen, so I definitely need to be careful. I can't give him too much wiggle room. I'm really happy I brought Clear Smog on my Amoonguss right now. So yeah, right here, Amoonguss versus Koko, I'm gonna Toxic again because he showed Light Screen. I'm pretty confident he's not Z-Brave Bird, meaning I can take a Brave Bird into a Brave Bird after my Cloveberry is weakened, so I can Sludge Bomb the next turn if I have to. And even though, and Sludge Bomb won't even do that much because he is under Light Screen, so expecting him to switch out into something else and try and capitalize on Amoonguss, I'm gonna go for Toxic again, as he actually goes for the Volt Switch on this turn. So I do get that part correct, but he actually goes into his Beedrill, which is a pretty bold play. And so on this next turn, as I did say earlier, I'm kind of expecting this Beedrill to be Swords Dance, based on how he brought the Light Screen. And I do have Foul Play, which can Oko and Adamant Beedrill, unless he has HP investment, which even if he does, pretty good chance in my favor to Oko it. And although that might be fairly obvious, I'm still going to go for it on this turn. It's my only play because I can't really allow Beedrill to set up the Swords Dance, and because my Golbat will die to a +2 knockoff, so maybe in +2 Poison Jabs. I'm not really sure, but even though U-turn will do a decent amount to me if he just wants to go for that, and he wants to go into something else, I still think this is the right play because allowing this Beedrill to set up Swords Dance is really not cool, because even if because he's behind the Light Screen, I'm pretty sure he can actually take a Scarf Fire Blast from it and burn it, meaning that I could just very well lose on the spot, or because I'd have to sack Monster to get rid of Light Screen, which is not be good. So I'm gonna click Foul Play on this turn, and as you're gonna see, he Mega Evolves and he goes for the Swords Dance, and I click foul play. So that means we get rid of the Beedrill right there, which is fantastic. That's great for me. That's a huge threat of his team gone. Now Golbat is immediately more expendable because it's not really there to deal with anything else. But that's very happy I stayed in and foul played there. I did risk a lot of health on my Mungus, but it did work out in the end. So yeah, that's great. If I didn't foul play right there and just went hard into something like my Golbat, I could have very well just lost. So yeah, very happy I made that play. And now, give me 1 second. Just gotta plug in my computer. Alright, sorry about that. But yeah, here, he's gonna go into his Porygon Z versus my Mungus. The light screen is still up. I do have Clear Smog, and as I said, my team builder, I am invested to live a +2 Tri-Attack after, or +2 Tri-Attack from a non-boosting item on his Porygon Z. But the thing is, this thing is behind a light screen, and I'm not at full. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for the Toxic here, as that will allow me to basically help me 1v1 it with Gardevoir more easily. There's a decent chance I can outspeed this just based on my team's speed tiers, and hopefully I can just kind of Toxic Solve with my Gardevoir because I do have Wish Protect, and +2 adaptability modest Tri-Attack will not kill my Gardevoir. And if he wants, and yeah, so also after 2 rounds of Toxic, he will die to my Scarf Infernape. So yeah, now Amoonguss is still pretty good versus team because he has the Tapu Koko, and I don't know its full set yet. It still could very well have some stuff to threaten the rest of my team. So I'm not quite gonna sack my Amoonguss. Instead, I'm gonna sack my Golbat because it is pretty expendable with the Beedrill gone. And yeah, I can just get damage on this as I sack off my Porygon Z my Golbat to the Porygon Z, and now I can bring in my Gardevoir. I trace, and he has Indeed Adaptability, which was pretty obvious at this point because he didn't show download, and he's probably not analytic. That just doesn't make sense. But yeah, so I'm in with my Gardevoir. I can live any hit with this thing, and I can go for the Hyper Voice. And if I outspeed, that's perfect. If not, that's pretty bad. So it just comes down to how much speed investment this thing has. If I outspeed, I can 2K him with Hyper Voice and live stuff on the next turn. And I can live this. I can 2K him with Hyper Voice, and basically live any hit and kill him with the next turn. But if I get outsped, then I'll have to go for Protect on the next turn, and then basically bring something in and force something in I don't want to, either my Infernape or my Amoonguss. So this is pretty big. I Mega Evolve, and I do outspeed him and get the Hyper Voice off, as that does not that much because of the light screen, but he goes for the Tri-Attack, and I eat that, and now he does have 2 light screen turns left, and this was a pretty, I didn't actually think about this play. I could go for the Protect, meaning on the next turn his light screen was completely gone, but the thing is, I just felt like it wasn't worth it, because the light screen being up for the next turn wasn't that scary in my opinion. Like, I could deal with it. So yeah, I'm just gonna kill him with Hyper Voice, as now it goes out into his Tapu Koko. So now versus Tapu Koko, I'm just gonna click Protect, so I can rack up a bit more poison damage on him. Try and hopefully get him in range of my Scarf Infernape as soon as possible, and yeah, and as well as get rid of the light screen and hopefully force him to the light screen later. So I'm just gonna go for the Protect as he just goes for the Volt Switch. Adds yeah, he goes for as yeah, he takes a bit of damage, and now the light screen's gone. One thing else I want to point out that I forgot to mention, during let's see, turn number 6, the Tapu Koko went for a Volt Switch versus my Amoonguss, and it's at 16.9, revealing that it's actually not an offensive Tapu Koko, meaning he's probably a support Koko with screens, which is very good information. I did consider going into my Amoonguss on this turn, but basically I didn't really want to allow a free switch in for Kommo-o, so I'm just going to sack off my Gardevoir on this turn. I will be forced to bring my Amoonguss anyway, but not unless he Volt Switches. So yeah, hoping he goes for Volt Switch. I cycle my Gardevoir here as he actually goes for the Light Screen. So now the Light Screen's up for another 7 turns because he didn't reveal Light Play earlier. So now I'm going to go for the Protect to just get even more damage on this Tapu Koko and stall it to turn a Light Screen as he goes for the Volt Switch. And here I strongly considered going to my Mungus, but that's just another free Kommo-o switch in. And right now the Kommo-o is the biggest threat to my team, and I still don't know what ability it is. I don't know if it's bulletproof, so I can't really safely click Scarred Focus Blast versus it with my Infernape. I also don't know if he's soundproof, so I don't know if I can Hyper Voice it with my Gardevoir. I also don't know if he's Overcoat. Overcoat is irrelevant in this scenario because I don't have Spore, so I'm just Spore on my Mungus. But basically I don't know its ability, I don't know its set, which is scaring me the most right now. So I'm going to sack off my Gardevoir, and now he goes into his Kommo-o. And here I go into my Manphy because I do have the Dazzling Gleam. So I'm going to talk about this turn a lot. So basically, I was here clicking my move, and I figured I can just go for Dazzling Gleam into a KO. I can live any hit. But then the thought crossed my mind. I know Joost likes weakness policy. And he has screens up. Weakness policy, Dragon Dance, Kommo-o seems like a very possible bring on this team. I didn't want to go for that though, because I figured, nah, always weakness policy. I made that stupid decision. I could have gone for Tail Glow on this turn, and basically just see what he wants to do, and then I would kill him with Dazzling Gleam even through the Light Screen, not have to worry about weakness policy or anything. But the thing is, that would require taking a lot of damage on my Manaphy, and I didn't want to do that. Instead, I just wanted to go straight for 2 Dazzling Gleams to a KO him, keep my Manaphy as healthy as possible, and we can hopefully be done with that. So I'm just gonna click Dazzling Gleam on this turn, and I get a crit. I crit his Kommo-o behind the Light Screen. That crit 100% mattered, and he was actually weakness policy Kommo-o. Now, assuming from his reaction, I'm assuming he did go for a Dragon Dance. I don't think I lost on the spot if I didn't get a crit. I will explain later. But that's still really unfortunate, because now it means the game is pretty much won for me. He can bring in his Tapu Koko. I'm just going to go hard into my Mungus on this turn because I want to preserve this Manaphy to nuke the Donphan. And he just goes for the Dazzling Gleam. Now here I'm just going to go for the Clear Smog in case he wants to do anything weird. And now it's Donphan versus the rest of the world. As I did mention, he could potentially be Rock Polish Donphan. And I just want to break this thing sturdy. Basically, this thing will take a ton from a Hydro Vortex from my Manaphy, so I just want to break this thing sturdy. I led him to a KO me. I don't know why I didn't click Clear Smog there. That's kind of stupid of me. But now he can't kill me with Earthquake, and I can kill him with Hydro Vortex. So we did manage to defeat Joost in the round 1 of the CPC playoffs. It is kind of bittersweet though, because I did get the crit versus the Kommo-o, and some people think it won the game, so I think I still won without it. I will actually go back to that turn right now and show you why I think I still won this game. So we're here, Manaphy versus Kommo-o. So if I go for Dazzling Gleam and he Dragon Danced, and let's say he lived, he would have a Kommo-o right here, +3. +1 speed. I would still have a full health Manaphy. Basically, what I would do here is I would go into my Infernape because I would run the calcs. I calc everything in game. I'm not just making this up. I'm pretty sure I would have put this correctly. I can go into my Mungus and I can spam Clear Smog. I will not kill him. So because the Light Screen's up, it will be doing absolutely nothing, which is what I need. I will spam Clear Smog as long as I need. As long as he kills me. If he kills me, that's even better. And then once my Mungus is dead, assuming he keeps Dragon Clawing me, if he switches out, then he's even more screwed because basically then he just would lose to Manaphy pretty much. Manaphy plus Mungus pretty much, because I would still have a Tapu Koko and that. But yeah, my Mungus takes 69 to 80. It's like 85 from a +3 Dragon Claw, which is what he would be at. +3 Adamant Dragon Claw, and we talked, and he did not have Outrage, meaning he would not kill my Mungus. So what I would be able to do is I can go into my Mungus, spam Clear Smog until he kills me, and then once I'm in, with my Mana Feed versus the Kommo-o, the light screen will be pretty much over because I would have taken a turn to sack Infernape and then spam Clear Smog with my Mungus, and then basically what I would do, this Kommo would be pretty low. My Mana Feed would still be at full. He would be non-boosted because I did spam Clear Smog, meaning his stats are gone. I would go straight for the Z Rain Dance. I take an Adamant Sky Uppercut from this thing into an Adamant Earthquake from Donphan, meaning I can just go for the Z Rain Dance, kill the Kommo with Dazzling Gleam, and then just win with my Mana Feed, because I can take an Earthquake plus a Sky Uppercut from this, meaning I don't care about Donphan's 30, and I'm like 90% sure he didn't have Ice Shard, because I'm sure he would have mentioned that post-game. Coco dies to plus 3 Surf. Donphan gets blown away by plus 3 Surf in the rain. The light screen is more than gone by this point. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Amoonguss or Mana Feed would have just cleaned as long as I spammed Clear Smog with my Amoonguss. If he went into Donphan on when I was spamming Clear Smog, that was just even worse, because then he's just basically trying to lose to my Mana Feed, because he would let me break his 30 and I could just spam Clear Smog, and then Mana Feed just wins even more because he is not a bulky Coco, and I can kill, and I can live a Volt Switch with ease, kill him with Surf. Basically, I could spam Clear Smog with my Boost versus Donphan, and not let him set up a Rock Polish, meaning once I get rid of his 30, which foul any attack on my Amoonguss does, because he's not leftovers, as you guys might have seen, then I would have just been able to come in with my Mana Feed eventually, knock out the Donphan, knock out the Kommo-o, because I did screep the Kommo-o. I'm not sure if I showed that, but I am 296 speed on my Mana Feed, meaning I now speed at max speed, max boosting nature Kommo-o. So I would be able to outspeed it, killing with Dazzling Gleam, because it would be low, and kill the type of Coco. So I'm pretty sure I won this game either way, even without the crit. Coco could not do anything to my Amoonguss. We shared our movesets after the game, so I'm pretty sure I won either way. I still feel really bad about the hacks, because Joost is a really good friend of mine, and it sucks that the game had to end like this. And I'm not trying to like justify hacks or anything. I think hacks is stupid. I don't know why I still play this game, but that was a fun match. It kind of sucked that it got hurt by the hacks. But yeah, hopefully we'll try and move on. I still think I had the win, but yeah. GG Joost, we advanced to round 2 of CPC playoffs, the semifinals, and I will spoil who our opponent is in like 10 seconds. So if you haven't seen that game, watch it. Basically, in round 2, we are going up against the winner of Rise Pool and 6, and the winner of that game was indeed Rise Pool. So we were playing Rise Pool in round 2, the semifinals of CPC playoffs. And we played him week 2, and we beat him, I think 3-0, so another rematch where we won the first game, which is just really, really difficult for me. But yeah, it'll be a good game, so make sure you check that out when it comes. Also, be sure to check out Joost's channel. Link will be in the description below. Thank you all for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.